Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with your hot take on the list of American heroes. Now, this was a garden project that Trump wanted to build of American heroes that he ordered on July 3rd during his address at Mount Rushmore. And he described it as a vast outdoor park that will feature the statue of the greatest Americans to have ever lived. So initially he had 31 names and then said a task force would select others. And so they've selected 244, which I think is too many. But, you know, I guess. I mean, so it's 244. How many years is that as a nation? I guess that's 244 would be... Yeah, it would be like one for every year. Maybe we should just have one for every year the country's been around. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. It seems like too many. I'll read the list. You tell me what you think. Pick your favorite in the description. These are in alphabetical order, by the way. Ansel Adams, number 1. Yeah, I'd say John Adams. You know, I have mixed feelings about picking the presidents and or founding fathers. Like, all the founding fathers should be on there, right? Like, so it's kind of a mixed bag here. But yeah, John Adams, he was a great American. He was on the he was one of Trump's picks. Samuel Adams, of course, Brewer, patriot. Muhammad Ali, yes, the greatest. Louis Walter Alvarez, Susan B. Anthony, also on the original list. Hannah Arendt, Louis Armstrong, Neil Armstrong, Crispus Attucks, John James Audubon, I think of the Audubon Society, if I'm thinking correctly. Lauren Bacall, that's a weird one to me. Seems almost too modern, but okay. Claire Barton, another Trump pick. Todd Beamer, don't know him. Who the heck is Todd Beamer? Alexander Graham Bell. Roy Benvenidez, Ingrid Bergman, interesting pick. Irving Berlin, Humphrey Bogart, yes, interesting. Another one from the Lauren Bacall era. I think they were buddies, right? Daniel Boone, sure. Norman Borlaug, William Bradford, Herb Brooks, Kobe Bryant. Wow, that's a real modern one. And I don't mean any disrespect to any Kobe fans out there, but do you think had Kobe survived that Michael Jordan would be in that spot? You know, and it was very tragic that he died. I'm just saying it seems like a very modern pick. I feel weird about that, but maybe. William F. Buckley Jr. Sitting Bull. Yeah. Frank Capra. Andrew Carnegie. Absolutely. Charles Carroll. John Carroll. George Washington Carver, of course. Johnny Cash. Yeah. Joshua Chamberlain. Also one of Trump's picks. I don't even know who the hell that is. Joshua Chamberlain. Let's see. President of Bowdoin College, Bangor Theological. Like, who the hell was he? I don't know. Became commander of a regiment in June 1863 when losses at Chancellorsville elevated Colonel Adam Ames to brigade command, and Chamberlain was left in charge of the regiment. Became a founding member of the Maine Institution for the Blind. Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Whittaker Chambers, Johnny Appleseed. Yes. Oh, Johnny Appleseed has to be on the list. Ray Charles, absolutely. Julia Child, another interesting choice. Yeah, she's got quite a life. Gordon Chung Hoon, don't know him. William Clark, Henry Clay. Yeah, I think Henry Clay. I know the name, and I'm trying to think. Henry Clay. Yeah, he was a famous politician in the early 1800s. I forget specifically what he did, though. Wasn't a founding wasn't a founding father, but he did write. Yeah, I'm Mark Twain. Oh yeah, yeah. Roberto Clemente, Grover Cleveland, Red Cloud, William F. Buffalo Bill Cody. Yes, Nat King Cole. Samuel Colt, Christopher Columbus. Oof. And we're going to have that controversy again. Calvin Coolidge, although I think Christopher Columbus should be on it, but he's not American. Like, America wasn't even founded. So, I don't know. This isn't a list of Americans. James Fenimore Cooper. David Crockett, absolutely. Benjamin O. Davis Jr., Miles Davis. What about Sammy Davis? Dorothy Day, Joseph H. DeCastro, Emily Dickinson, Walt Disney. Yeah, he'd have to be on there. William Wild Bill Donovan, Jimmy Doolittle, Desmond Doss, Frederick Douglass, of course. Yeah, he was one of the original ones that Trump picked. Herbert Henry Dow, Catherine Drexel, Peter Drucker, Amelia Earhart, another one that Trump picked. Thomas Edison. I'm surprised Trump didn't pick him. Jonathan Edwards, Albert Einstein. Again, Einstein wasn't American, was he? Maybe later he became American. Dwight D. Eisenhower, Duke Ellington, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Medgar Evers, Dave Farragut, the Marquis de Lafayette, fought in the Revolutionary War. If I'm thinking of the right Lafayette. Mary Fields, Henry Ford. Interesting. George Fox, Aretha Franklin. Another interesting pick. Benjamin Franklin, also marked here as one of Trump's picks. Milton Friedman. Isn't he still alive? Isn't Friedman still alive? I think he is. Again, a weird... Oh, no, he died. He died in 2006. Robert Frost. Gabby Gabreski. Bernardo D. Galvez. I don't know some of these. Lou Gehrig. Well, famous baseball player. Dr. Seuss is on the list. That would be an interesting statue. His should be all like funky with weird, like, you know, strange things coming off of it. You know, like a Dr. Seuss thing. Cass Gilbert. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. John Glenn. Barry Goldwater. Samuel Gompers. That's a great name. Alexander Good, Carl Gorman, Billy Graham, and that was one of Trump's picks? Yeah, I don't know about that one. Ulysses S. Grant. He was such a bad president, though. Nellie Gray, Nathaniel Green, Woody Guthrie, interesting, Nathaniel Hale, William Frederick Bull Halsey Jr., Alexander Hamilton, also one of Trump's picks, Ira Hayes, Hans Christian Heg, who you may remember his statue was beheaded during the summer riots. So he definitely deserves one. He fought slavery his entire life. Ernest Hemingway, cool. Patrick Henry, yeah, he deserves something. Charlton Heston. It would be funny to have Heston, like, you know, from my cold dead hands. or the other one, like, you maniacs, you blew it up. I mean, either one would be great. Oh, I lost my spot. Oh, Alfred Hitchcock. Again, I thought they were supposed to be Americans. Billie Holiday. Bob Hope. Absolutely, Bob Hope. John Hopkins. Yes. Grace Hopper. Sam Houston. Whitney Houston. No relation. Interesting, Whitney Houston. Again, another very modern one. I don't know how I feel about people that modern that they were alive when I was alive. It seems like they should be, you know, long dead. Julia Ward Howe, Edwin Hubble, Daniel Inouye, Andrew Jackson. I'm surprised that's not a Trump pick because he's supposedly a big admirer of Jackson's. Robert H. Jackson, Mary Jackson, John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, a Trump pick. Steve Jobs, interesting pick there. Yeah, I would say Steve Jobs should be on that list. I mean, he really did change the world. Katherine Johnson, Barbara Jordan, Chief Joseph, Elia Kazan, Helen Keller, cool. John F. Kennedy, Francis Scott Key, Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King Jr., also a Trump pick. You know, he's got his own park, but, you know, sure, he should be in the list. I guess there's just going to be a lot of redundancies if you're going to have a park of great Americans. Russell Kirk, Gene Kirkpatrick, Henry Knox, to do so, I can't say that last name, Harper Lee, Pierre Charles L'Enfant, Meriwether Lewis, Abraham Lincoln, a Trump pick, Vince Lombardi, interesting, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Claire Booth Luce, Douglas MacArthur, another Trump pick, Dolly Madison, James Madison, both Trump picks. Huh, interesting. George Marshall, Thurgood Marshall, William Mayo, Krista McAuliffe, and I don't know that one at all. Let me see. Who is that? Krista McAuliffe. Oh, she was the astronaut who died in the shuttle accident. Was that her name? I didn't remember that being her name. Interesting. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you know, it's very tragic. William McKinley, Louis McManus, Herman Melville. Interesting. Thomas Merton, George P. Mitchell, Maria Mitchell, William Billy Mitchell, Samuel Morse, Lucretia Mott, John Murr, Audie Murphy. Oh, that's a Trump pick. Yeah, famous war hero. Edward Murrow. Interesting. John Newman, Annie Oakley, of course, Jesse Owens. Cool. Rosa Parks. Yeah. George S. Patton Jr., also one of Trump's picks. Charles Wilson Peel, William Penn. Yeah, William Penn deserves a statue. That guy doesn't get enough credit. Oliver Hazard Perry, John J. Pershing, another famous general. Edgar Allan Poe, cool. Clark Poling, John Russell Pope, Elvis Presley, Jeanette Rankin, Ronald Reagan. I don't know, man. Yeah, I could see Trump nominating him. I bet he gets cut. Though, in the final list. Walter Reed, because, you know, Biden, if Biden builds this thing, you know, he'll probably have some sway over it. If he's going to remove anybody, I bet he removes Reagan. William Rehnquist, Paul Revere, absolutely Paul Revere. Henry Hobson Richardson, Hyman Rickover, Sally Ride, Matthew Ridgway, Jackie Robinson, of course, famous baseball player. Norman Rockwell, that's a cool one. Caesar Rodney, Eleanor Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Eleanor was a very interesting first lady. I got a lot of disagreements with FDR, though. A lot of disagreements. But I guess I can see why he's on the list. I mean, this isn't Trump's list, so the expanded list is not his anyway. Theodore Roosevelt. Now, I'm surprised that's not a Trump pick. I would imagine he would have been a top Trump pick, but what are you going to do? Betsy Ross. That is a Trump pick. Interesting. I think he wanted to have at least, you know, a couple more females in the mix there. Babe Ruth Sacagawea, Jonas Salk, absolutely. John Singer Sargent, Anthony Scalia. And that's a Trump pick? Really? Again, seems too modern. Norman Schwarzkopf. I don't know, man. It seems like another one that could probably go. I think isn't he still alive too? Wouldn't it be weird to go visit a statue of yourself? Oh, he died. He did die. Died in 2012. Oh. Yeah, nobody sent me the memo. Juniper Serra, don't know her. Elizabeth Ann Seton, Robert Gold Shaw, Fulton Sheen, Alan Shepard, absolutely. Frank Sinatra, that'll be a cool statue. He'll have like a martini and a cigarette, and they'll be like... The entire Rat Pack should be on this list, quite frankly. It shouldn't just be Frank. It should be Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. Like, that should be the statue. In fact, the whole Rat Pack should have a park all on their own where you can drink and have cigarettes. That should be the only place where you can drink and have cigarettes, right? In that park. Margaret Chase Smith, Betsy Smith, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Jimmy Stewart, Harriet Beecher Stowe, which was a Trump pick. I know the name, and I forget what she... so many historical figures. What did she do? What did she do? Oh, she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. Okay. Famous abolitionist. I should have known that one. Gilbert Stuart, Anne Sullivan, William Howard Taft, Maria Tallchief, Maxwell Taylor, Tecumseh. I can never pronounce that guy's name. He's a Native American. Katira Tikawatha, Shirley Temple. Ha. Now, would it be little girl Shirley Temple, or would it be full-grown adult Shirley Temple? Nikola Tesla. That would be, he doesn't really have a statue, so I don't think. Maybe one somewhere, but that would be a cool statue. Jefferson Thomas, Henry David Thoreau, Jim Thorpe, interesting. Augustus Tolton, Alex Trebek. Yeah, everybody loves Alex Trebek, but he's so modern. He just died. But he is very. Everybody would love to visit. But you got to wonder if, they build this park and then 100 years go by, would anybody even know who the hell Alex Trebek was? Would they, you'd have to explain, television and game shows to them. Be like, oh, he's got a statue? How good of a game show was this? Harry S. Truman. I don't know, man. No. I'm going to say no on Harry Truman. He should not have a statue. No. Sorry. You dropped the bomb twice. No. You don't get a statue. That's the price you pay. Sojourner Truth. Harriet Tubman, which was a Trump pick, absolutely. Dorothy Vaughan, C.T. Vivian, John von Neumann, Thomas Eustick Walter, Sam Walton? Is that the Walmart guy? No, absolutely not. Booker T. Washington. He's got to be alive too, right? Sam Walton. He's definitely alive, isn't he? No, he's been dead for a while. Man, I guess I must be thinking of his son or whatever. Yeah, I guess since he's dead. Famous retailer. I guess. I don't know. Nominating a statue for a guy and his Walmart still survive. I don't know, man. Booker T. Washington. That was a Trump pick. And George Washington, another Trump pick. Yes. Yes to both. John Washington. John Wayne. I'm surprised that's not a Trump pick. Ida B. Wells Barnett, Phyllis Wheatley, Walt Whitman, of course, Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House on the Prairie, right? Wasn't that the name of the character? I guess it was based on a real person. Roger Williams, John Winthrop, Frank Lloyd Wright, cool. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, also Trump picks. Alvin C. York, Cy Young, and Lorenzo D. Zavala. So, there you have it. It's going to be a crazy park. Lord knows how much this is going to cost to build, much less maintain. We'll see if we can afford it in the coming years, but these days we just seem to be spending money. It will be a tribute to the many boondoggles that America has built over the years, I suppose. Hopefully it won't go to pieces in the years to come. Yeah, I don't know. I got a lot of mixed feelings about this park. On the one hand, I think, yes, let's build some statues just to rub it in the faces of the Antifa types who tore them down. But then I also think, God, what is this? We have to pay for this. So, I don't know. It'll probably get S-canned anyway because of the Biden administration.